Scientists have discovered something insane. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself, shaping your thoughts, habits, and even emotions. But here's the catch. It's either making you smarter and more focused, or trapping you in the same pattern over and over again. Most people go through life without realizing how much their brain controlling them. Let's try something. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. What did you notice? Probably nothing, right? But here's the wild part. While you sat there, your brain just processed thousands of details, sounds, and teeny muscle movements, background sensations, and you were not even aware of it. That's because your brain running on autopilot. Ever walked into a room and immediately forgot why? Or picked up your phone just to check one thing and somehow lost 45 minutes of your life? That is not you deciding. That's your autopilot running the show. But what if you could switch it off? What if you could take back control and rewire your brain for purpose? That's exactly what we are diving into today. Neuroscience have proven that mindfulness is not just a meditation. It's a tool that can physically change your brain, boost focus, and reprogram how you think. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to use it. So grab your brain and make sure it's with you, and let's go. Here's something wild. Most of your life is not actually lived by you. It's lived by your brain. On autopilot. Think about it. How many times have you opened the fridge, stared inside, and completely forgotten what you were looking for, or started typing a message, got distracted, and that had no idea what you were about to say? It's like your brain hijacks you, and you don't even realize it. And here's why. 95% of what you do every single day is not really a choice. It's a habit. Your brain is running on pre-programmed loops, repeating the same behaviors, thoughts, and reaction over and over again. Not because you are not paying attention, but because your brain is designed to save energy. It automates as much as possible, walking, eating, scrolling, so you don't have to think about it. Sounds convenient, right? But here's the catch. Autopilot does not care if what you are doing is good or bad for you. It just reinforces whatever you do most. If your brain is used to procrastinating, stressing out, or getting distracted, it will keep doing that on repeat. For example, have you ever grabbed a snack, thinking you will have just a few bites, and suddenly realize that whole bag is empty, or driving somewhere and arrived only to realize you barely remember the drive? That is not a coincidence. That's your brain running the show without you. And here is where it gets even crazier. Your thoughts work the same way. Over 95% of the thoughts you have today are exactly the same ones you had yesterday. Your brain is not constantly coming with new ideas. It's just repeating old scripts, old habits, and old emotions. That's why change feels so hard. Your brain is not resisting you. It's just repeating what it knows. We actually covered this in depth in our previous video, how your brain is pre-programmed to repeat patterns. Link in the description. But today we are talking about how to get free from this cycle. Because what if you could take back control? What if you could interrupt those automatic loops and actually reprogram your brain to work for you instead of against you? Well, neuroscience have figured out exactly how to do it, and it all starts with mindfulness. So, if your brain's stuck on autopilot, how do you break free? How do you stop running the same thought loops, the same habits, the same emotion over and over again? That is where mindfulness comes in. And no, it's not about sitting cross-legged, burning incense, or chanting mantras. It's something much simpler and much powerful. So, what exactly is mindfulness? At its core, mindfulness is the ability to fully experience the present moment without reacting automatically. It's like hitting pause on autopilot mode and actually paying attention to what's happening right now. Think about it. Most of the stress, anxiety, and overthinking we experience happen because we either stuck in the past or worried about the future. Mindfulness is a mental reset button that brings you back to now. For example, imagine actually tasting your coffee instead of mindlessly chugging it while doom scrolling. Imagine actually hearing what someone's saying instead of planning your response while they talk. It sounds simple, right? But here's where it gets crazy. You can try this right now. Let's do a quick test. It will take just a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose and now exhale slowly. For just a moment, you probably felt a little more present, a little more in control. That is mindfulness in action. And here's the mind-blowing part. Doing this consistently actually rewires your brain. So, what is the science of mindfulness and your brain? This is not just some feel-good idea. Neuroscience have proven that mindfulness physically changes the brain. And no, you don't need to meditate for hours to see the effects. Even a few seconds of mindfulness can start rewiring your brain. It shrinks the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for fear and stress. Less stress, fewer moments of "why did I say that at 2 a.m.?" Mindfulness strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part that controls focus, decision-making, and self-awareness. That means sharper thinking and better impulse control, like actually resisting the urge to check your phone for the 47th time today. Also, mindfulness creates new neural connections, making your brain stronger, more adaptable, and more resilient. Your brain is not stuck, it's not broken. It literally changes based on what you focused on. And the best part, you don't need hours of meditation to see results. Just a few seconds of mindfulness, practice it consistently, can start rewiring your brain for better focus, less stress, and more control. And here's where it gets even crazier. Scientists have discovered that mindfulness can actually make your brain younger. That is coming up next. So, now we know that mindfulness just is not feel-good practice. It physically changes your brain. But how exactly does that happen? Well, scientists have been studying this for years, and the results are mind-blowing. Or should I say, mind-building. So, Harvard neuroscientists conducted a study and found just 8 weeks of mindfulness practice can literally rewire your brain. And here, the wildest part, it can actually make your brain younger by up to 10 years. That's right. While some people are out of there spending thousands on anti-aging creams, you could just breathe better and get a younger brain for free. MRI scans showed that people who practiced mindfulness had more gray matter in areas responsible for learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Also, they had increased neural density, meaning their brains were forming new connections better. And these people had stronger prefrontal cortex activity, which is linked to better decision making, focus, and self-awareness. Basically, mindfulness is like hitting the gym, but for your brain. You know how to people say, use it or lose it. Well, that applies to your brain too. A study found that mindfulness slows brain aging by increased telomere length, the protective caps on your DNA that shorten your age. Longer telomeres, a healthier and more useful brain. So yeah, mindfulness might not give you six-pack abs, but it could give you a six-pack brain. And it's not just a theory. In real life, ever notice how some people seem calm and clear-headed, no matter what's happened around them? Meanwhile, others lose their minds over a Wi-Fi lag or a missing ketchup packet. A lot of that comes down to how their brains are wired. Mindfulness literally reprograms how your brain reacts to stress, emotions, and distractions. It's like upgrading your mind software. So you react less, focus more, and think clearer. And the best part, anyone can do it. So, if mindfulness can reshape your brain, what is a better way to start? That's exactly what we are diving into next. The Mindfulness Toolbox. 4 simple techniques to activate your brain's hidden power. Alright, so we know mindfulness can rewire your brain, boost focus, and slow down aging. But how do you actually use it in daily life? Do you need to meditate for hours? Move to the mountains? Shave your head and become a monk? Nope. You just need the right tools. Simple, practical, and easy to use anywhere and anytime. Welcome to the Mindfulness Toolbox. 4 powerful techniques to help you activate your brain's hidden power. And since everything is more fun when it feels like a game, we are tuning this into 4 levels. Ready? Level 1. The 10-second awareness reset. Let's start with something ridiculously simple. For just 10 seconds, stop whatever you are doing and notice 3 things around you. The feeling of clothes on your skin, the sounds in the background, the sensation of your breath moving in and out. That's it. You just hacked your brain out of autopilot mode. Think of it like restarting your Wi-Fi when it's acting up. A tiny reset, but suddenly everything runs smoother. Level 2. The 4-7-8 breathing hack. Now let's upgrade your stress control system. This technique instantly switches your brain from stress mode to focus mode. Here's how. First, inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Then hold your breath for 7 seconds. And exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat 3 times and your nervous system chills out. Fun fact, Navy SEALs use controlled breathing like this before mission. If it works for people who jumped out of planes for living, it will work for you before that awkward Zoom call. Level 3 of our game. The Mindful Trigger Mode. You don't need extra time for mindfulness. You just attach it to something you already do. Pick a daily habit and turn it into a mindfulness moment. Drinking coffee. Feel the warmth of the cup, the aroma, the taste. Taking a shower. Notice the water, the temperature, the sensation. Brushing your teeth. Feel the bristles, the minty taste, the movement. By doing this, you are training your brain to be present without adding anything extra to your schedule. It's like sneaking vegetables into a smoothie. You won't even notice it's happened, but your brain gets all the benefits. And the final level, the 5-second pause rule. This one is a game changer. Before reacting, whether it's snapping at someone, stressing out, or impulsively reacting to that one annoying text, pause for 5 seconds. Just observe the feelings before acting on it. Why? Because this teeny pause stops autopilot mode and gives you a choice. Do I want to react the same way? Or do I want to respond some differently? This is where real mental control starts. Mindfulness is not about doing more. It's about training your brain to function better. You don't need to change your whole life. Just integrate these teeny habits and your brain will start rewiring itself automatically. And here's a question. If your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you focused on, what exactly are you training it to do? Because next, We are diving into something even deeper: how to make sure you are programming your brain the right way. Alright, we have covered a lot. You now know that your brain is constantly rewiring itself, either reinforcing old habits or creating new, better ones. You also have 4 powerful mindfulness techniques to help you take control. But here's the real question: are you training your brain, or is it training you? Your brain is always learning. But what? Every single day, your brain is adapting to whatever you focus on the most. If you are focused on learning, self-improvement, or awareness, your brain builds stronger neural pathways for growth and clarity. But if you spend hours doom scrolling and arguing with strangers in comment sections, your brain will become an elite level stress machine, because your brain does not care what you train it to do. It just follows the blueprint you gave it. So, what blueprint are you giving your brain? A simple thought experiment. Imagine if every thought, every action, every reaction was like a rep in the gym. If you are constantly worrying, you are making your anxiety muscles stronger. If you are always distracted, you are training your brain to stay unfocused. If you are practicing mindfulness, even in small ways, you are training your brain to be sharper, calmer, and more in control. So yeah, every time you catch yourself overthinking at 2 a.m. about that awkward thing you said 5 years ago, just know your brain is putting reps. Think of it this way: autopilot mode. Your brain running the same loops, reacting instead of thinking, making the same mistakes. Mindfulness mode. Your brain is focused, adaptive, and making better decisions. The choice is not about whether your brain will change. It will. The real choice is how you want it to change. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one mindfulness technique from today's video and try it out. Just one. Then come back and tell me in the comments what's one thing you always wanted to understand about your brain. Maybe it's why you procrastinate. Maybe it's why you always remember embarrassing moments from a decade ago but forget while you walk it into a room. Or maybe you just want to know if it's possible to actually focus more than 5 minutes without checking your phone. Whatever it is, drop it in the comments. Your brain might be mysterious, but we are here to figure it out. And if you want to go even deeper into how your mind really works, check out this next video here.